Hi, everyone. So, tonight I want to talk to you about something that I've been researching on and off for quite some time, like working on myself, like I always say that I am. So, tonight I want to talk to you about sexual polarity. And sexual polarity is the major force that happens between two people that are in a relationship. And so, when you have sexual polarity, there's usually a masculine and a feminine, and they gravitate. It's like a magnet, and they're like drawn towards one another. And so you're constantly pulled towards one another. And so if you're in a relationship and say you take on more of the masculine in your relationship, you know, you want to wear the pants in the family or whatever. Um, Say a heterosexual woman who wants to make all the decisions and control everything and stop being feminine, she wants to like control everything. That's going to repel a man because a man is attracted to feminine energy in a woman. Not to say that you have to get rid of all your masculine, but when there is a woman, whereas even the same, if it's a man and he's acting more in his feminine, that's going to repel a woman. And so, sexual polarity. I've looked back on my life and in my past relationship, mostly in my marriage, there came a point where I don't know how it happened. I'm still trying to come to terms with how it happened, but um, my ex husband had caused me to take more of the masculine role in my relationship. He always worked and, he always like took care of us financially. But when it came to the head of the household and the child rearing and the discipline and all of that, he left that all up to me. And I felt like he forced me or caused me, maybe I should say, into that masculine role, which I never wanted to have. And when that happens in a relationship, it loses sexual passion, for the other partner. And he probably looked at me the same way, if I was taking more of a masculine position in the family, whereas I looked at him as more like not dominant and taking control and saying, hey, this is how things are going to be. Like he left all the decisions up to me, like from paying bills to the whole household, like running it. Like he didn't do anything. I felt like I was in the masculine doing that, and that causes the sexual polarity. No, it repels. Like I never wanted to be a man. I like being feminine. I like men opening doors for me. I like being taken care of. I like a man being dominant, not, to the point where he's a jerk, you know. So there's masculine energy and there's feminine energy. And even in the feminine energy, I was listening to this podcast tonight, and there can be light feminine energy and dark feminine energy. And I think there has to be a happy medium, is what I got out of it, because look at the porn industry. So if you have to look at it, those girls that are portrayed in porn, wouldn't you say that they're more of dark energy, dark feminine energy, rather than the goody two shoes girl, blah, 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 you know? And so there has to be kind of hard, like getting it all right, but yeah, you want to have a little bit of both, the naughty girl and the good girl, to even out. The same way with a man, like, of course, we women are usually always attracted to that bad boy, that dark masculine energy where he takes control and he's dominant and, you know, But there's a fine line between a bad boy and him taking control and being dominant, and also having that feminine in him where he can be kind and he can be loving. And there's always a balance. But I wanted to talk to you tonight about this because in relationships, sometimes we as women can emasculate men. Whereas it be like, I was talking to my guy, Ken, and in Colombia, women, they say thank you if a guy opens a door for her. And they very much so like to be feminine women. Whereas here in the United States, he says, like, if he opens a door for a woman, like a strange woman, like, they'll give him dirty looks or whatnot. And I enjoy having a door opened. I always say thank you to a man, because me as a feminine woman, I enjoy being taken care of. I want a man to take care of me. I don't have a problem being feminine and letting a guy like lead me. And some women think that if we do that, that it makes us like less of a woman, like feminism. I agree that we should be treated equal in the workforce, getting paid the same. But we're not men, women. We're not. I don't care what you say. I don't care. I understand your beliefs, but I enjoy being a feminine woman. And so let me get some of my notes because I take them like I always do. And so feminine energy is like the ocean, and it moves in many, many different directions. And masculine energy is like that ship. It's very functional, and he's on his course. And we as women are created to receive a man. And men are created to penetrate with direction and purpose in a woman. And I was reading some other studies or whatever the other day, and it's kind of like, okay, so the sperm and the egg. So when the sperm goes after the egg, he chases the egg, right? The egg sits there, and all these sperm chase. They have a purpose. And when we as women take on our masculine and we start chasing a man and going after him, that's going to repel a man. So it's in our DNA. That's just the way we were created. And some women who are feminist or not might fight against that, but it's the way that we are. And so let me see if I have anything else in my notes here, because I have a lot more studying to do on this whole subject. So when you're in a relationship, and if you're not acting congruent with your natural essence, you're not being yourself. You're not being, you're going to lose sexual chemistry with the person or whatever that you're in a relationship with. And there's been many women that say, oh, why can't I get any dates? Why aren't any men attracted to me? They can get one date. She could be the most beautiful woman in the world, but she'll go out on a date with this guy and she'll say, why didn't he call me again? Because maybe you were too much in your masculine, and you repel that man. I totally understand being a strong, independent woman, because I remember thinking that in the past and saying that about myself. Oh, I don't need a man. I'm a strong, independent woman. I can do this on my own. Yeah, I can do it on my own, but guess what? I don't want to. I enjoy the company of a masculine man, somebody who takes control and says, hey, this is what we're doing tonight. It takes such a burden off my shoulders that I don't have to worry about all that stuff. I don't have to be the decision maker. I don't have to be the one that tries to wear the pants in the relationship. I remember just a few months ago, I was talking to this young girl, and I work with her and she's like, "Oh, I got a bigger dick than my boyfriend." And I just thought to myself, I'm like, no man who's heterosexual wants a woman with a dick. Sorry, men aren't interested in dick. And I just thought, I didn't say anything to her because I could just tell the type of a woman that she was, that she would not receive any wise counsel, because I think I'm wise. I'm not the wisest, but I'm learning and I'm growing. And so, sexual polarity. What are your thoughts on it? Especially you feminist women. What do you think about what I have to say? And you men, what do you have to say about what I'm talking about? Let's discuss this more.